the central banks of the majority of the developing countries are now diversifying their allocations with gold and other local currencies. The US dollar is facing scrutiny due to the $35 trillion debt that could wreak havoc on their native economies. If the markets crash or enter a recession, BRICS countries are leading the pack in cutting ties with the US dollar and reinforcing local currencies at the forefront. The world reserves in the US dollar are falling as central banks are looking at ways to end dependence on the currency. The world reserves count of the US dollar has now fallen to 59% in 2024, reported the Atlantic Council. The US dollar in reserves stood at 72% in 2002 and has been declining steadily in the last 2 decades. In 22 years, the US dollar declined 13% in the market as developing countries are distancing the currency from their reserves. In no surprise, BRICS member China's local currency, the yuan, rose 3% during the last period. In addition, the euro has also declined by 19% from 28% in 2008. The euro saw a downfall of 9% in just 16 years. The euro has now fallen to 19% from 28% in 2008. By the law, the yuan has risen to 3%, a threefold growth since 2016, says spokeswoman of Russia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Maria Zakharova. BRICS is promoting the usage of local currencies for cross-border transactions, adding pressure on the US dollar. If the dollarization trend continues, the global reserves in the US dollar could fall below 50% in the coming decades. The development could ring warning bells on the US economy, leading to financial disasters and stock market crashes. So that is what is happening. Yes, it is going to be a long decade war. The dollarization agenda of the BRICS and these 10 Asian countries, if they succeed in it, it is going to lead to an economic revolution, because a whole lot of developing countries will regain totally their economic freedom. It will stabilize their local currencies, and their economies will have no choice than to do well, and their economy will have no choice than to flourish. And this, it equally means that a whole lot of superpowers are going to emerge from these developing countries. It equally means that a lot of developing countries will gain global prestige at the international stage.